The ability to see the Magic Kingdom fireworks was definitely a deciding factor in where we chose to live near Disney World. But it wasn't the most important factor. The most important reason for choosing where we lived was how easy we could access the Disney parks. Someplace close by with good road access and minimal traffic. We chose well. Let's take a ride to Magic Kingdom. We'll go to the Transportation and Ticket Center parking lot, and we'll see how long it takes to get there from the apartment. Spoiler alert, it'll only take about 12 minutes. That time will probably get shorter sooner or later, and I'll explain why along the way. As you can see, the apartment complex has its own road, a lot of nature areas around it. And one of the things I really like about this apartment complex is they're always upgrading. The pressure washing, like you see here, is done a couple of times a year. They really keep the place clean, try to keep it up and looking nice. As we come to the exit of the apartment complex, we're going to be pulling up to Reams Road. Now this is not a very good road for the area. If you're trying to go left, you've got to fight all that traffic coming. And then the road's only 2 lanes. Certain times of day, there's a lot of traffic on it. So if you were headed towards the Winter Garden, Hamlin area, it's kind of frustrating at times. But like any place you live, you learn to time your trips so that traffic's at a minimum. And it's no different living here. Now what's really nice about this location is we simply have 2 right turns, a right turn onto Reams Road and then a right turn onto Floridian Place, and we're on Disney property. It is really that close. We did think about living at the apartment complex across the road there. It's a little bit older complex. It doesn't have elevators, so we kind of decided against it. Plus the views from this side of the road are just a lot better. So this right turn takes us on to Disney World property. If you look to the left as I make the turn, that is the Magic Kingdom cast member parking lot. So all the employees that work at Magic Kingdom and the support areas behind Magic Kingdom all park there. This road was upgraded a few years ago. It's part of a much bigger upgrade plan that Disney World has for on-property roads. It's not done yet, and it is causing a few issues. So when I mentioned that the drive to Magic Kingdom will get shorter at some time in the future, once they get all of this road work done, I think it'll cut that time down by a few minutes at least. One of the things you get used to are drivers in Florida. I won't say they're Florida drivers because I don't know too many people that are actually from Florida that live down here. But Florida drivers, or drivers in Florida, whatever you want to call them, they tend to be very aggressive, speed a lot, and there is quite a nice police presence on property. I've seen Florida State Troopers, a lot of Orange County Sheriff's deputies, and then of course Disney security. But it still doesn't deter people from driving. Usually 15 to 20 miles an hour of the speed limit is normal. I try to avoid that, but it's not uncommon. And speak of the devil, I'm probably doing a few miles an hour over the speed limit here, but of course somebody has to push ahead and get ahead of everyone just so we can all stop at the same red light. Now as we go straight ahead here, we're changing from Floridian Place is the name of the road, and magically now we're on Floridian Way. And to the right you can see the major construction areas. They're rerouting this entire road and making it at least a 4-lane so that it'll relieve any congestion that happens in this area, plus give them more room for expansions on the Magic Kingdom and the resorts in this area. We're coming up on the Grand Floridian Resort to the left. And actually, you can see a nice little view of Bay Lake and some of the water in that area. So to the right here is an overflow parking lot for the Grand Floridian Resort. And currently, if you have a dining reservation at the Grand Floridian Resort, you park in the lot to the right here, and then you walk across this road. At least it's a controlled intersection, so you won't get run over as easily here. Once the new road is completed, I would expect they would redo all the parking for Grand Floridian and add more parking in this area because they really don't have enough at the current time. Now, the road project in this area has been going on for quite a few years. I know at least 3, maybe 4 years. And it's the third phase of their expansion for World Drive to connect it to Reams Road, and it's just taking a very, very long time. It was interesting to watch Universal build a complete theme park with parking lots, new roads, everything. And in that same amount of time, Disney has not been able to complete this little short, maybe 1 mile stretch of road. So they've been running into some kind of major issues there with the soil or maybe water or something like that, unknown to me, but they're definitely taking many, many years to complete a very short section of road. To the left in this area is the Polynesian Resort. And as I understand it, they're going to be putting in a couple of roundabouts. One will go here to make this flow a little bit easier. Right now it's not too bad, but in the late evenings when the park's let out, it can get a little bit backed up going the other way just because there's a stop sign there. To the left, you'll see the TTC parking lot. That's where you'll park to go to Magic Kingdom. And now we're coming on to the section of road that has been completed. So the in-between part where it was 2-lane, all that's going to be connected with a new 4-lane road that'll connect this 4-lane to the 4-lane that's up close to Reams Road. Another interesting point is to the left here, there's a lake, but that lake used to be, I think, surrounded by a NASCAR style racetrack, and they had a NASCAR racing experience there at one time. I remember coming, and I never went to it, but it had high banked earthen walls, and you could hear the cars racing in there. All that was taken out some time ago to make room for roads and parking and such as they've done. Now, the Magic Kingdom Toll Plaza, the main entrance for the parking area, is right here to the left. And this is something I'm hoping that they'll work on and get a little bit better. But you have to make a U-turn to get to the Magic Kingdom Toll Plaza to park at the Transportation and Ticket Center, or TTC as most people call it. And you don't have much time to get over. But a little tip I'll show you here as it's coming up is once you make the U-turn, notice that I only move over 1 lane to the right because there's actually 3 lanes that feed into the toll plaza. So you don't have to fight all the way over. Just move over 1 lane and you're in the correct place that you can get into the toll plaza without having to fight too much traffic. So as we make the U-turn here, I'm going to give it a little extra gas just to get up to speed so I can merge in with traffic. And I'll move into the first open lane, and I only need to go over one more lane. So the third lane from the right, and the first, second, and third lanes all feed into the Magic Kingdom toll plaza. And depending on traffic, sometimes you do have to be pretty aggressive to even get over one lane when there's a lot of traffic headed that way. People are moving kind of quickly, and if you hesitate, then you're stuck. Now I'm a pass holder, and I'm kind of used to going through the toll plaza, so I know how to hand them my ID, my pass, and everything so that I get through more quickly. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Very good.
Great. You all set? Have fun.
Thank you. So you can see, on a good day, it doesn't take me long to get through the plaza. It's just being ready. Have your ID out, have your pass or whatever type of entrance you have. If you're staying at a hotel, you can use a magic band or your card key. If you're paying for parking, it takes a little bit longer because then you have to process payment. But other than that, you get in pretty quickly. And we're arriving in the morning. This is a Wednesday, about 9:30 a.m. So I've let the rush at park opening kind of die down. But lately, for Magic Kingdom parking, they've been parking everybody to the left in the early part of the day and then straight ahead up here in the later part of the day. So those are basically, to the left you'll have the Heroes lots, and straight ahead that will go into the Villains lots. And the people that you see going straight, those are people that either have a medical pass so they can park in handicap parking, or some of those might be preferred parking if they paid extra. And I have personally never seen Magic Kingdom parking lot completely full. So a normal day, they'll fill up Villains and they'll fill up the Heroes lot, and they may put a little bit out in the extra lots, but I've never seen it completely full. So from the time we left the apartment complex to the time that we're right here, it's only been 12 minutes. So it's definitely not a long drive to get to the Magic Kingdom parking. And once you park, you've got to get to security, get through security, and then decide which means you want to use to get to the Magic Kingdom entrance. You can take the ferry boat, or you can take the monorail, and on really, really busy days, they'll also have buses running. But a lot of times I'll actually walk, and it'll take me about 25 minutes to walk to the entrance. So I'll go through the Polynesian Resort, the Grand Floridian Resort, and walk around the lake, and I can get there usually in about 25 minutes just walking. Get there, probably the quickest way would be on the monorail, but if there's a long line for the monorail, I'll just opt to walk usually. And as you come in the parking lot, you see cars to the right and the lane I'm in is to the left. I don't worry about which lane I get in, just whichever one's more convenient for me. The cast members are usually pretty good about letting the cars through so that it's fair to both sides. And at this time of day, of course, they're parking 2 rows at a time. So it's going to be about the same for either side. I did just remember when my daughter was very young. She's 17 now, but when she was probably 3 or 4 years old, I remember we came through the toll plaza for Magic Kingdom and had an awesome cast member working. Saw her in the vehicle, and kind of leaned in and said, "Hey, what's your name, young lady?" She told him her name. He said, "Yeah, yeah." He said, "I thought that was you. Hey, we had a message that Cinderella wants you to visit her castle while you're here, so make sure you walk up there, and if you see her, tell her hi." So she was, as a 4, maybe 5-year-old, she was blown away about that little touch the cast member did. And that's just one little special things that can happen all along the way. Little pixie dust. And one thing I do try to practice all the time, going to the parks as much as I do driving, is I try to practice patience. So this is a common occurrence. You got people trying to get all their stuff out of the vehicle. They will delay you just a little bit, but a few moments doesn't really matter. I'm not in a hurry. Y'all take your time. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. So yeah, just giving somebody a little courtesy. Takes time to get out of your vehicle. They're moving in cars pretty quickly. And since I'm usually walking to the park anyway, it doesn't really bother me. Now I went to the park and now I'm driving out. This is the same day. And for this day, I was parking in Simba, which is one of the Heroes lots. And I really like exiting from here, probably best of all the lots in Magic Kingdom area. The reason is it's real easy for me to get back to home from here. Now this was in the past a 2-lane road when they had the costume office open, but that area is blocked off now, so it pretty much functions as a one-way exit only now. I don't know if they'll remark that after all the construction or not, but there's usually not cars coming in this way. They're all leaving this way. So as I exit the parking lot, this road here will feed directly into World Drive. So if you're headed anywhere else in Disney World other than the Magic Kingdom resort areas or out through the Reams Road area, then you can just go straight on this road. It'll take you to World Drive, and you can go to Epcot, Hollywood, Animal Kingdom, any of the other resorts in that area. That road takes you basically to all of Disney World south of the Magic Kingdom. But for me, I'm headed back home. So I do a little right turn, right turn, right turn, and then I'm back on the road straight back home. Now the road to the left, I believe it's called Bear Road, and it's off limits. There's a checkpoint up there. It goes into some of the support areas, so it would be a nice cut through to Western Way if it were open, but it is a secure area that they won't let you through. Now at this point, I'm looking back at the parking lot where I parked, and I'm just merging back onto, at this point it would be called Floridian Way. And it'll take me by the Polynesian and the Grand Floridian the way I came in earlier. As you can see, there's still a ton of construction going on here. Hasn't really caused any major traffic delays at this point, although this one particular stop sign, when everybody's leaving the parks, it'll get backed up a pretty good ways, but it moves very quickly. The cross traffic does not stop, which is the real thing that slows you down here. But even on a busy night when the parks are emptying, it's still not bad. And the bus is blocking the view, but they've really cleaned out in front of the Polynesian. Not sure what the plans are there, but it used to be a lot of trees and you really couldn't see the front of the Polynesian, but now it's wide open. And the tall building coming up on the right, that's the new addition to the Polynesian. It's called the Island Tower, one of the Disney Vacation Club properties. Opened up just late last year, so probably been open, maybe 7 months now. And past this point, you start to see the Grand Floridian to the right. And you can definitely see all the construction to the left for the new road. I'm hoping that construction is done sooner rather than later, because I've been in the area, living here for over 2 years now, and the construction's been going on the whole time just for that little piece of road there. They haven't gotten anything done other than dirt work. So it took me a little time to figure out why the road name changes up here. It goes from Floridian Way, which we're on now, and it changes to Floridian Place, but it still seems like the same road. And according to Google Maps and what I've seen, is you're on Floridian Way now, but when you come to the light up here, the Floridian Way actually turns to the right, and staying straight takes you to a whole new road called Floridian Place. I don't know if they'll adjust that in the future, because I have a feeling that Floridian Way to the right here, that's where the new additions to Magic Kingdom are being built. Villain's Land especially is supposed to go out there, and they may do away with that road or reroute it as well to keep it away from the park. But we'll see. I don't really have any inside knowledge on things that are happening there, just what I read and hear in passing from people. One of the things I'll warn you about, all of Disney property is built with a lot of wetlands and wooded areas. Most of the property doesn't have things built on it, so there's a lot of wilderness. And I've personally witnessed a car hitting a deer on this road right here. But it's not uncommon to have a lot of wildlife, and whether it be a large bird, one of the sandhill cranes, or a deer in the road, just have to be ready and be ready to stop. And we're back by the Magic Kingdom cast member parking lot. And if you're thinking about going in there to watch the fireworks, don't do it. They have security in there at every fireworks show. They're watching for people that want to pull in and see the fireworks show. It doesn't work. They'll run you out. They also don't allow people to stop on this road. They're patrolling the area constantly. The only place in the area that is safe to park at is directly across the road. There's a shopping center with a gas station. And I've never heard of anybody having any trouble parking there. They'll usually let you park there if you want to. Well, we've made it back home, so we'll pull in here and relax until the fireworks start tonight. Thanks for watching.